Very nice. Very hot. Honestly, I'm already trying to undress you.
You're going to get my clothes on, are you? Get over here.
Right. We're going to do a quick match-up, see who's taller. Who is taller?
Okay.
Back.
Okay.
You look very serious.
I'm not serious at all.
I think I might slightly be blushing. It's not every day you get to interview a supermodel. So should we start?
Absolutely.
The sooner the better before I make a fool of myself.
Perfect.
Okay, we're going to have to put the battery in. By the way, I have to ask you, do you like the clock?
You know, I was so impressed when I saw you walk in with this. I couldn't believe it.
You like the
I
clock?
absolutely love the clock.
Okay, good.
Okay,
the pressure's on. Okay,
yeah.
let's go. You can speak fluent French, I think I'm right in saying.
Oui.
Can you say, I'm Elle Macpherson and I am the body?
Je m'appelle Elle et on m'appelle le body.
Now, once a supermodel, always a supermodel?
You tell me.
No, very much so, absolutely. Right, I do want to know though, do you see yourself more now as a model or as a businesswoman?
I've been doing business for a really long time, and I consider myself to be an entrepreneur, entrepreneurial spirit. Lingerie.
How's it going?
20 years in the business, it's thriving. Here I am in my offices with undies behind me.
How did you first realise though that you have a nose for business?
I think it was more a heart for numbers than a nose for business. But, you know, when I was 26 years old, I left my modelling agency at the time, it was Ford, and I incorporated myself and I became Elle Macpherson Inc. and I started doing business-to-business kind of deals.
Are you aware of the clock now, or have you forgotten all
I've
about it? I want you to feel
clock.
a little bit
no,
under pressure.
I am not nervous.
What are you most proud of so far in your life? I ask pretty much everyone that question. Easy question.
My biggest achievement is raising my boys to be conscious, sensitive, present human beings.
You've got two boys.
I have two boys, 11 and 6.
Is it hard being a single mum?
It's challenging and it's exciting and it's wonderful, and what a gift.
I do want to ask you about business though, and whether you feel it's harder being a woman in business.
Being a woman in the lingerie industry, we're surrounded by women making lingerie for women.
Got all your entourage
Yes,
here?
I have all my entourage here. My design team is fabulous. So, you know, it's much easier being a woman designing lingerie than a man.
Australia?
Yes.
Brought up in Australia?
Yes.
Are you still an Australian at heart?
Absolutely, 100% Australian.
Don't you feel a tiny bit British? We can't start
Not
to claim
even
you as
through
our own in
osmosis.
Britain.
But
Yeah.
I'm very fond. Look, I love living in London. I think London's an extraordinary town.
If you could click your fingers though and change something about British life, apart from the weather.
I was just about to say the weather, but that's so cliche,
that's a bit cliche,
isn't
doesn't
it?
it?
Not a lot. You know, art, music, literature, theatre. Fantastic people live here.
British men?
Sexy, at times.
What do you find really attractive in a man?
Creativity and intelligence.
Okay. And are there any hyper-embarrassing chat-up lines that stick out?
Oh, would you like to come and do my TV show? A 5-minute show?
Well, I was going to ask you on a date, but not until after the interview. I thought it would be far too...
No business and pleasure.
No business and pleasure? I'm not going to take that as a no quite yet. Cricket.
Cricket.
Like it?
I had a boyfriend that played cricket once.
I've got to ask
Very
you.
long time ago.
Got to. So were you sort of a cricket girlfriend? You actually went
Yeah,
to
I was.
matches?
I was a cricket chick.
It's a good one. Do you think England can win back the Ashes?
I wouldn't know.
Can't you just say yes?
Yes, yes, of course.
What was life like growing up in Australia? Cronulla?
Cronulla is where my father lived. It was amazing, you know. I spent a lot of time on the beach, rode my bicycle, played sports, and had a really healthy lifestyle.
Swimming before school?
Swimming training. How did you know at 5 o'clock in the morning?
I didn't,
With a
I'm
swimming
guessing.
cap and a one-piece bathing suit, training, yeah.
So what do you do these days to wind down?
I like to listen to music. I read.
What sort of music?
A bit of everything. I'm a bit of a 70s buff chick. I know that's not very cool, but that's me. And I read and creative. You know, however I can create, whether it be writing or reading. I mean, in the sense of material for work and then interpreting.
And obviously you stay very fit and in good shape. How do you do that? Can you eat what you want?
I eat more than I want. That's the problem half the time. Sport's really important to me. Love snow skiing, love horse riding, love water skiing, and I do it as much as I can.
And are there any sort of issues, sort of world issues or political issues that really stick out for you that you care about?
It's really interesting you should talk
You've
about
done
that.
some charity work.
Yeah, politics and human rights. They're my two subjects. I've worked a lot with Red, Bono and Bobby Shriver's initiative, which raises capital for the Global Fund. The maternal mortality is also an issue that I'm very comfortable with. UNICEF.
Just over 30 seconds to go.
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Matt. Well, it's Matt. That's fine. Okay, we're on first name terms. Now, what are the big remaining ambitions?
Oh, my goodness.
Can you hear it?
To finish this without making a fool of myself.
Big remaining ambitions?
So many I don't think I can really talk about in the last 10 seconds.
Are you a blonde, would you say? Do you see yourself as a blonde?
In what respect? What are you asking?
That's all we've got time for. It's up.
There you go.
Right on the bell. Okay, now, we're still recording, but
Yes.
I do have to ask you, what would I have to do? All my male friends wanted me to ask this question. What would I have to do to persuade you to go for a drink?
I don't drink.
Oh, come on, right. Let's think. What about, I'm flounging around here, what about a day at Lord's at the cricket?
Well, you know the way I feel about cricket, so I don't think
So
that would
that's
go
a
down
bad
so
one.
well. That would not
Okay.
go down so well.
You're not really helping me very much here.
I don't know, you have to be creative and ingenious and
yeah.
find some way to
So it's-
entice my, spirituality, mentality, physicality,
So something
whatever.
spiritual.
No, not necessarily.
How about bird watching?
It depends what kind of birds.
The beautiful types, maybe sort of a weekend in Wales, perhaps. Just pretend to say yes.
I like the weekend away idea.
Heard you? Okay, right, well, I'm going to say that as a yes.
I like the country.
Really nice to meet you.
You too. Nice to meet you.